Doing? Oh my God. I can't believe we have finally made it to almost halfway through the year already. I can't believe 2024 is rolling like this. Life is good. How are you doing? I'm sorry, it's been a while that I've actually just gone live. And today's the day. Why? Because I keep procrastinating on things. I'm constantly waiting to be ready. Do you ever do that? Just wait and think, once I have my shit together, um once I got a clear path, right? Like all of the things that you think that you need, when really you just need to freaking get going. Well, that was today. I've been kind of dancing around and I have got so many things in the fire right now. Like it's just so many things cooking and I'm just not moving forward because I'm constantly waiting for everything to be just right. And I'm freaking sick of it. Sakes, I'm sick of it. Okay. And so today I'm joining in to give you a little bit of into my mindset of what's going, where I've been, what I'm doing, and how you can do the same thing. So I get stuck. I grew up knowing that I had all these skills and abilities, but really always being overwhelmed and not sure which direction to go in. And I really wasn't good at sticking with things. Whenever something gets boring for me, whenever it takes too much time, when I don't want to practice. Oh, the P word. I hate that word. I swear that is my worst thing than a fear of failure is a fear of practice. That's what it should be called because I get bored so easily. And so that is a big part of why I'm not able to have mastery in a lot of the things that I want in my life. And I'm good at a lot of things. I'm great at a lot of things, but I'm always getting sidelined on being masterful in something. And for some people, it doesn't matter. People say, Zan, you're doing great. Life is great. But I have this really big burning desire to do freaking gigantic, huge, amazing, um, big fucking awesome things, right? Beef eggs. You know my feeling about that. And so I get really frustrated with myself when I just find that I'm constantly wishing, not actually doing anything about it. So that's why I wanted you to tune in and know a little bit about my process because as much as I feel like I haven't done a lot of things, I really am doing some things right. And so I want to tell you kind of where I've been and like I said, where I'm going to. And how do I know that I'm doing some things right? I was on a coaching call, like I'm in a coaching group, and they asked us how we felt if we were going to live our lives from the past 2 weeks, how we would feel if that was the rest of our life. And I had to say, I'd be okay with that. And so, but there are a couple of things that I would like to do and that would really make things freaking awesome, right? So and that's what she said is what would those things be? And it's really about showing up, sharing myself, and not being afraid to not be perfect, not to be all together. I've had the flu for the last couple of days, so I've been like, no, my hair doesn't look right, my face doesn't look right. I get a bit of a facial dysmorphia, I think, because when you see yourself on camera or you hear your voice on camera, it it just it doesn't always feel good, my friends. Let me tell you that. And so I'm constantly second guessing myself. Is this good enough? And it's just not on camera. It's showing up when I go do my consulting business, when I get to go into my wonderful neighboring First Nations communities and as well my own sometimes. But when I get to go visit them and share my skills and my stories, it's scary. It's scary to put yourself out there, right? But that's the whole thing of it is I'm sick of living a small unfulfilled life. It's so important to dream big and go after it. Why? Because I don't want to wake up on those days down the road and go, oh, I wish I would have spent more time. I wish I would have did these things. I wish I would have, right? So I did that for a long time until I woke up completely blind in my right eye. And I had something called optic neuritis. And what it is, it's a precursor of multiple sclerosis. So that was my huge moment about 12 years ago when it was like, holy shit, Zan, you need to move forward. You need to decide what you're going to do, or you're going to be stuck and you're going to be blind in one eye. And that would have been okay too, because my life would have went on. But that would have been so shitty if I basically made myself blind because I didn't do anything about it. You know what I mean? Like, that would suck so badly. So I quit smoking cigarettes, is because I would hate to have to tell my kids one day, "Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, you guys. I have a smoking related illness." No judgment to anybody, but that was a big decision for me. That was my why of what allowed me to quit smoking after many, many years and after 4 times of trying, was really about my kids. And so all of a sudden, when my eyesight went, when I was like, "Uh-oh, am I going to be like this forever?" It, I was okay because I knew I could still be a mom, but it was really about, man, did I do this to myself by not living what I really wanted in my life? And being First Nations, being one first a lot of times in my family, like first not to go to any form of residential school or Indian day school, that's a big thing, man. That's a big deal. And just being different. It's okay. That's what I want to let you know. You're not alone, because I think I spent, and to this day, I get scared sometimes because we're not like everybody else, right? We march to our own drummer. We sing our own song. We do our own thing. And that's what makes you freaking amazing and so impactful in this world. So I need you to embrace that. And that can be difficult when you are in your own way. And that's where I was. That's what happened, is I was unfulfilled, I was unhappy, I just didn't know, and it was all my own fault. It was nobody else's fault. It was all on me. Why? Because I wasn't living according to my values. I didn't even know what my values were. I had a husband, I had kids, I had business, I had all these things, I had a wonderful family, but I just wasn't content. I wasn't satisfied because I did not go after what I wanted. So that's where my journey started, was being sick, losing my eyesight, being miserable with my family, with my kids, fighting with my husband, yelling at my kids all the time. Like, it was just, I just was never feeling any joy. And so that's when I had to kick my own ass and say, "Zan, it's time to get moving." Because you can stay a victim. I could have stayed a victim to illness, to mindset, to all of the stories that I have in my head, because we've all got those stories, right? But you need to make the decision. Nobody can make that for you. No program, no anything. You've got a physical. You can do things, and there's things that can support and help you. But at the end of the day, it's up to you. And so, what are some of those things? What did I do? Well, it's really simple. I really engaged in a 3-step process, and I'm still engaged in that process. And every client that I work with, this is the process that I work through. Why? Because I want you to let your inner rock star shine. And I want you to let your movie of your life, your dreams, your song play out in the universe, because everybody needs it, especially you. Most importantly, you. I always worry about other people first. No, it's all about you. Okay. So hugely important, hugely important. So there's a 3-step process that I went through to really start getting my jam on and feeling like I do now, amazing, excited for every single day to come. So what is that? It is really comprised of 3 parts, and I'll walk through quickly of why they were so important for me. So the first part is soul discovery. It was really about figuring out what made me tick. It's really about enhancing my emotional intelligence, which is growing, being able to understand, sorry, emotional intelligence is being able to understand and manage your own emotions, right? Not having to constantly be triggered by other people, having weird feelings. I'm going to turn a little bit just because I want a different way to look. I'm always trying to do some different thing. That gets too cloud. There we go. A little bit different. Um, and so you really need to get in tune with who you are and what your wants and needs are. Okay. This is like so important, because if you don't know what you really want, your why is never going to be big enough. Okay. And that is really what helps you achieve your goals. It's really what keeps you moving when you want to stop. It keeps you going when everybody else is surrounding you telling you this is hopeless, it's impossible. When roadblocks throw up in your face, come up in your face, and you get stuck, your why needs to keep pushing you through. And so for me, it really starts with emotional intelligence, understanding yourself at the core and really figuring out, what do I value? Who am I? What do I want for my life? What does success look like for me? All right. Um, so the first part, soul discovery. So what does that look like? It's really about self-awareness. So we do some I've done many personality assessments. I'm also certified in a whole bunch of them. But that's where the color code was so powerful for me, because I was living my life like a red, or motivated by power and getting things done and just not worrying about fun, when really I am so high on the fun scale. I am really about enjoying what I'm doing, and just not having any stress at all. And does that mean that I can't still do hard things? No, it totally does. But it also means really, my values were so important, that freedom and fun and flexibility are three of my top three values. Well, that's what made me sick, is because I didn't really know what made me happy. Okay. So that's super important, is to really dig deep into yourself. And then I started looking at the wheel of life, where, because once I realized that I had all these areas that I wanted to work on, it was overwhelming, because where the hell do you start, right? Some of us are like, holy crap, man, I got so many problems, man. You don't want all these problems. Well, that's where you got to prioritize. You can't do everything at once. So it was really about laying out all the areas of my life in kind of an organized way, a simple way, in the wheel of life, scoring them, ranking them. How satisfied am I? How much do I like myself in each one of these areas? How proud am I of myself in each one of these areas? So that's where I started to prioritize and looked at them and said, what gives me the biggest bang for my buck? And that's when I realized health, wellness, and my family were super important. And that money and those types of things were less of a priority. So that's when I started to really rejig my business, rejig what I did, and where I spent my time, because you only have so much time, you only have so much energy. So if you don't have 100% control of your time, uh, and what I mean is knowing where it's going, managing it the best you can, and not letting everybody else's emergencies and priorities be your priority. That's what I mean about it. Because I know we all got hard lives. We all got lots of crap to do. Okay. So I'm not trying to take that away, but it's really about not being a victim to other people's schedules. It's really, and I get parents here like, hey, no, I know. But even that, it's really about organizing your time as best you can, making sure lunches are made the night before, if you can, getting the kids to participate in what you're doing. There's so many freaking ways to be in charge of your own time. Okay. So again, you can be a victim and tell me. That's usually what people say. Oh, Zan, when we're working together, they'll give me 100 reasons of why they can't do it, and blah, blah. And then I go, why are we even talking then? Do you want to move forward in this area or not? Because you can give me excuses all day long, but that does not change your circumstance. That's the hard conversation I had to have with myself, right? I'm not getting better unless I take action now. And so that's what I decided to do, was get to know myself, figure out what made me tick, decide what are my triggers, which I don't use as a word anymore, because triggers are really my low emotional intelligence, where I'm experiencing my trauma over again, right in the moment. Now through counseling and different therapies that I'm doing this great one right now called Safe and Sound, which is a lot about calming that internal fear, fight or flight response. I'm able to go, oh, that thing happened. That happened 30 years ago. I don't have to go there again every time. Right. So that's part of it, is learning to kind of manage those really intense emotions, and memories is really what they are. Um, Next was really about visualization. Once I had my wheel of life, was like, well, what does that look like? So I had to start mapping out what my dream life would look like. And there's a bunch of different components to that. I won't go into every single step of them. But that's really what it was, is what do I want? Um, how do I want to feel? Really is what it really came down to. How do I want to show up? How do I want to spend my time? Who do I want to spend it with? What do I want to spend it on? Like, so many vital questions that I really had to start asking myself and digging deep, right? And so that was so much about my self discovery. Okay. Was just getting to know myself, what I wanted, who I really was at the core, and what was going to make me happy. And really, what was going to make my family happy. I wanted to be happy mom again, and not always be yelling, and have my kids just be like, holy crap, mom, bugger off. You know what I mean? Nobody wants that. You want to try to have some good memories and so on and so forth. So, part two of my healing journey was really about my soul detox. And soul detox, what is that? It's about getting rid of that heavy shit on your shoulders, on your soul that is dogging you and that is dragging you down and pulling you further away from your goals and dreams. You know what I'm saying? It could be old junk talk in your head of your grade three teacher who told you you weren't talented, even though you're dying to be an actor, sing, or share your talents. It could be that negative ex in your life or a current partner who's telling you, why bother trying? You're not smart enough or talented enough, right? You got to stop listening to that BS of those people. Sorry if anyone sees this swinging. It's a little windy out here. I'm going to move it and try to brace it a bit, maybe. Right over here. So that's a huge part of it, right? It's soul detox is really about getting clear on your path of vitality, energy, passion in your life, and getting rid of any of the junk that doesn't serve you and that holds you back. Okay. And so, really, that's about deciding what your values are. And not just going, yeah, it's family, friends, and love. That's what, no, it's really about digging deep. Yes, friends and family are important to me. They are number five on my list, number six, I think. Why? Because if I'm living the other values that I have, fun, freedom, flexibility, financial freedom, and fulfillment, which is about self actualization and learning and all that cool stuff for me, then my friends and family, honey, they are going to be living large, because then when I'm living in my best life, I can be the best for them. So that was so much about clarifying and really being able to understand and verbalize my values. So now everything I do, every second I spend, every client I take, every person I hang out with, when I spend money, I filter it through those values to see, is it going to be bring me fun, freedom, flexibility, so on and so on, right? Why? Because otherwise it's a hell no, because I can't afford to make half-assed decisions, half lukewarm decisions, because I did that before and it didn't make me happy. I want to make hell yes decisions. Okay. I don't want to be hell no. Yes, I want hell yes, baby. That's what I'm telling you. Right. And I know it's hard. I know we all got our story. I know you can sit here because, hun, I grew up with you in your community, in our age group, and all that stuff where we're really working hard to change who we are, change our story, change our past history. But it starts with you. It starts with you saying yes. It starts to you saying, I'm worth it. That my past story is not my future, right? That's what soul detox is about. It's about getting rid of that junk from your past that doesn't serve you anymore. Okay. It's vital, man, or you are never going to be able to move forward. And I get it. People are going to give me 150 ways till Sunday of why their life is the way it is and how they're stuck. No, you're not. And I promise you, you can make small steps forward every single day to get exactly what you want. Okay. And don't worry about it. I'm not going to leave you hanging. I'll tell you at the end what you're going to do if you are ready to take this journey with me. Two other pieces that I also had to focus on were being able to say no and set boundaries, because it's really difficult. I was a yes person. I wanted to make everybody happy in my life and in my world. And you can't always do that when you're trying to better yourself, when you're trying to live your dreams and goals, which means to be able to serve and help other people too. I just put up a post about what would you do if you had unlimited money on my Facebook page. It's crazy how the good works that people want to do in the world. Like if you just read it, it was all about serving other people and helping other people. And that's what getting healthy is about. That's what this journey is for me. It's not just about me. It's being able to be an example and share and show other people that this is possible, right? That's what we are. We show that future the future is possible, no matter where you've come from, no matter what you've done. Okay. It's about today. Another piece that I had to really focus on in this was My relationships. And not just love relationships that we talk about. No, it meant friend relationships. It meant, different people in your life. And I had two friends that I had since I was quite young. One was in college, and the other one, no, they were both in college. And two ladies that I wish them so well now, and I adore them. But it just got to a point where we were drama llamas together. I would call and it would be like, hey, how's it going? Oh, terrible. And if I would say, oh, I'm doing great, they would go, oh, well, you're so lucky. Look at your great life. And then they would start to make that there's something wrong with me. Or I felt really that I was always walking on eggshells. Right. And I got sick of that. I realized that I don't want that anymore in my life. I want to be able to be who I want to be, love who I want to love, go where I want to go, and have my own time and my own schedule. And, so I love them and I care about them and I send them out all of my blessings to them. But you can't take everybody with you. Sometimes you've got to go on that journey by yourself. And it can be scary and it can be lonely, but I promise you, the rewards of going on that journey, you cannot count them. It's just unbelievably immeasurable and satisfying of what you can get when you go on that journey. Okay. If you've been on it, you know what I'm talking about. You know it's worth it. And then the other piece, two pieces, there's a bunch. What's zapping your energy? And what's your self-talk? How are you talking to yourself? Affirmations, all that positivity. How are you? What's your strategy for keeping yourself on track? How are you making sure that you are changing that record that's been playing in your head since you were old enough to be aware of other people's opinions, right? It's so important to start digging deep into that and changing that soundtrack, okay? And then once you get through this amazing journey of self-awareness, self-discovery, understanding yourself, you really get to dive deep into now soul design. What do I want my future to look like? How do I want to show up in the world? Like I touched base in front. Right? You've started to visualize. You've got your vision board. You've got your goals. You know what your dreams are, right? That is really what soul design is all about. So those pieces are really about, what do I want to create? What does this new life look like? What's the path, right? What's the structure of it? And then it's starting to go, what are the habits? What are the goals that I have, right? But then what are the habits do I need to have in this to help me really stay focused on what it is that I want in this new version of me? Because you've been the other way for a long time. So your natural state, it's like the fetal position. Your body constantly wants to go back to the fetal position. It's going to constantly want to go back to a what it considers a comfortable state, even though it's a painful state, right? We will often be more comfortable keeping a known pain than taking a chance on getting an unknown pleasure. Right? Oh, I don't know if I can do it. What if it doesn't work? What if that? Well, honey, you're no further behind than if you stayed where you were. And that's what one of my mentors used to always say, and I loved it, and I still say it to this day. He's amazing. He would say, do you want to be 1 year older, or do you want to be 1 year older and be smarter or wiser or have more experience or take that course, right? Because people would say, oh, I'm too old to do it. And he would say, you're going to be older anyways. So why don't you do something? So I'm listening to you, hon. Thank you for that, planting that seed, because it's true. You are never too old to keep moving forward and growing in your own life. Because soul design is really about creating that roadmap, that image, that visualization, and it's tying the first two parts into a nice little package. Okay? And that is really the journey that I'm on every single day, every week. Why I show up, why I run my business, why I continue to go out into the world and do the things that I do. It's because it's part of my personal development, my professional development journey. It isn't just for you, it's for me. I'm sure a lot of people will say, oh, there goes Anne giving her opinion again. Whatever, don't care. This is about me. If I can help anyone, great. But I need to, how's the word? Make manifest my destiny. And this I do because this powers me up, this energizes me, this excites me. And really, it aligns with all of my values. That's why I do this. And that's why I get so excited, even though I've got the flu right now and I feel like crap. being here with you lights me up. And that's part of that whole soul detox too, is figuring out who lights you up. Who is your spark team? Who do you want to connect with? Well, my friend, you are my spark team. So thank you for being with me on my sharing my journey with you today, because it's been scary, it's been hard, it's been overwhelming. I get imposter syndrome, I lose my confidence, I get diarrhea before, sorry, too much information, but seriously, like, I get so nauseous before I come to your communities to do a workshop. Thank you for being patient with me and listening to it, but even jumping, like, anything I do, because I care so much. And so even that fear voice in my head, that's one of the things I tell myself is, no, I just care. I care so much. It doesn't matter. The fear is worth it when I know that I'm serving other people. So if you want to come on this journey with me, it's time. It's time for you to find your soul spark. And so I've wrapped all of these lovely pieces up for you into a 90-day program that we are going to be, that we've got some people into already, but it's really a self-administered, go pay, take your time going through the courses you need to. But we're going to be having our first upcoming group coaching call. So would love to have you on board here. We're having our first one. We'll drop the dates down in the comments below for you. But what I'm going to say is you need to sign up sooner than later, because I'm going to try to keep it small for my first group, because I really want to be able to pour in to the members that are in the group. And you'd be crazy. The price is ridiculous for the value that you're going to get out of it. So I'm not even going to walk you through it. I just know you're smart. You want change, or you wouldn't be listening to these sessions with me. You wouldn't be joining in, because you'd be doing other things. I know that you were ready for this journey, and it's time for you to find your soul spark. So please don't hesitate. Click on the link below. Come and join us in this group. And what is it going to look like? It's not a whole bunch of extra work for you. It's literally one worksheet a week, or one activity a week, that is going to be kind of a one-pager that you're going to work through. And then every week we'll have a group coaching call, or sorry, once a month, I believe it is. But we're working on that. Even we've got some special things coming up for our early adopters. So you'll just have to wait and see. You'll have to just come and join us, and then you can find out. But please, it's time. If you are ready for that change in your life, hun, it's time. You need to do this with me, because I promise you, you can keep waiting for your best life to show up, or you can take a chance on yourself and join me in Soul Spark. Okay? Let me know what you think. If you're ready, if you're not sure, comment Soul Spark, and I will reach out to you, and we can have a chat about it to see if Soul Spark is really for you. Okay? Let me know what you think. I am dying to know what you got out of today as well. So either comment Soul Spark, or let me know, what did you get out of today? I would love to hear it. Why? It helps make me better. It fills my bucket, and it really allows me to know, what do I need to focus on next time? What do you guys want to hear about? So that this isn't a waste of anyone's time, and that this is the best 30 minutes that you are going to spend all week. All right? Love you. And don't ever forget, today is the first day of the rest of your life. Doesn't matter who you were last year, 10 years ago, yesterday, you were different. And so that is the reason that it's time for you to get on your soul spark journey. All right?